Welcome to Model Bear Studio. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Now, this is a kit that's taken a while to be reviewed, but that day is finally here. We first reviewed the Entry Grade kit a couple weeks ago, and you can check out that review in the link above. This here is the No Grade version that commemorates the 2025 Expo, the RX-78F00-E Gundam. Unlike the Entry Grade, this one comes bundled together with the feather unit. From the box art, we can already see that in certain areas there's a higher level of detail, especially in the wings and more color separation. Taking a look at the sides, we can see the RX-78F00 Gundam and its iconic pose as it appears at the expo with an illustration next to it. A close-up of the markings, here without the backpack and with the feather unit attached. Close-up of the solar panels, a rear view of the wings in painted detail, the manipulator, which in this kit is movable unlike the Entry Grade where it was a single static piece. On the other side, we see how the armor pieces and the feather unit are attached to the body, with other accessories and armaments. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 runners, instruction manual, and this flyer. Let's quickly look at our big sticker sheet, with the majority of the pieces being in the armor pieces and the wings. Unlike the Entry Grade, these stickers are to enhance the shine of the clear pieces that go over them. And here's our decal sheet, just like the Entry Grade. I think it is the same one. Let's look at each runner real quick. Here's runner A, red, yellow, and blue in the clear part. We have the shield, bottom of the feet, parts of the skirt, got the torso right here. Runner B, all white, and here we can see a lot of parts for the legs, shoulders, the inner part for the shield. Here we have the sides for the head, top part, V-fin. Runner C, all black. Here we see some hands, rifle, parts for the backpack. Here is the I-1 runner, all white. And this looks like it's the armor pieces. Here I believe these are for the legs. It's probably the arms. These might be for the sides of the legs. And here is the I-2 runner, all in white as well. And this is for the backpack. Here we have the skirt. And here's runner J, all black as well. And here we have another set of hands, some parts for the thrusters. And here is the most beautiful runner in the box. And this is runner K. This is the all see-through aqua color. So these are going to be all the pieces that are going to be for the wings and the armor pieces. So this is going to look really good on this set compared to the Entry Grade, which it was just stickers. Either the panels for the arms or the legs. Here is runner L, all white. And these are the additional parts for the backpack. Here's the panels for the wings. And here's the individual pieces for those crab hand things on the back. I forgot what it's called now. Manipulator or something. And our last piece, and this is just a set of polycaps. So nothing too special about this one. Here we have the fully built RX-78F00, and again we can see the high level of detail. The articulation is quite good with the arm joints having good flexibility, and thanks to the polycaps, the shoulders can have some extra movement. The skirt can move independently since we did cut them. They don't get in the way too much when making those high kicks. Knee bending at a 90-degree angle. The ankle does have a good amount of articulation, being able to move up and down with some side-to-side movement. This definitely helps in certain poses. The back skirt is static, so that sucks. This means no high back kicks are possible, so this is very limiting. The head range is not bad either, almost being able to tilt all the way back. Good side-to-side tilt. Having already built the entry grade, let's have some fun and see how they compare to one another. On the surface, they both appear to be the same kit. The chest piece has the same amount of detail, but it isn't the same chest piece. From above, we can tell that it isn't. The entry grade doesn't have any polycaps, and we can see that the shoulders that attach to the arms are wedged between both chest pieces. The skirt on the entry grade is uncut, so it moves as one piece, but it can be cut on the entry grade as well. The back skirt is static. I didn't mind this too much with the entry grade, but it was disappointing that it was the same for the no grade. Most arms and leg pieces are a single piece as opposed to the no grade, where arms and legs are composed of 2 pieces or more. The head tilt on the no grade has just a little bit more movement. The sabers on the back actually stay in place for the no grade. Might be my entry grade, but the sabers always kept falling off. But I do feel that the entire kit feels a lot more loose on the entry grade. When kicking forward, the skirt gets in the way on the entry grade, and it is a bit annoying as it gets in the way when trying to kick higher. The no grade handles this a little bit better. When it comes to the bottom of the foot, we can see some hollowed areas on the entry grade, and none in the no grade, but both do have a good amount of detail. The eyes on the entry grade are made of a yellow piece that extrudes a bit, and the top part creates shadows that give it a black outline. The no grade comes with a dedicated clear piece that you can also apply a sticker over. The panel lines in some areas of the entry grade appear to be wider, but all the same. They are narrower on the no grade. On the legs and feet, those appear to be the same. Now here are the armor pieces, and unlike the entry grade, where they go over the existing pieces, for the no grade we do have to switch them out, as they are their own piece. And it's pretty simple. So in this case, we'll take off the arm, remove the shoulder piece, attach the armor piece, and then put it back in the socket. And that's it. When it comes to the armor piece for the leg, it is just the same as it is for the entry grade. So it's composed of 3 pieces that wrap around the leg. So we have the side that's going to go here, these 2 pieces behind the leg, front of the leg, and this fits nicely right here. Close it with the front piece. And that keeps it in place. And then you put the side piece. And there you have it. And for the front skirt, we do have to remove the front piece. To make it easy, let's go ahead and move the torso. And to add the new skirts, we do need to remove the old ones. In the entry grade, you just add it on top of this. You would only have to remove this. The ones on the no grade, they're their own piece. So we do need to remove the old ones. And so right now, let's only do half of the body. So half with armor pieces and the other half as its base. And there you go, half and half. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest. Here's where you'll really see the big difference in quality. First up, the entry grade, and easily noticeable would be the stickers, and stickers on kits do really cheapen the quality. Painting over those areas would be much better in my opinion. On the no grade, we see the bump in quality, with the individual transparent blue parts that are attached to the armor pieces. Even with the full stickers underneath, it really works well. Now let's look at the entry grades. We'll start off with a quick recap on the entry grade wings. In my review, I mentioned about this massive sticker that goes over the whole panel part. and covers all the detail underneath. In order to bring some of that detail back, I used the toothpick method to go over the recesses, and from certain angles it actually looks really good with the shadows that it creates. Another thing I do like is the detail in the back. For the manipulator part, I didn't mind too much that it's a single color static piece, but I can't forget that the other side is hollowed, and just makes the whole thing look really bad. I understand that this isn't uncommon. You usually see this kind of thing under the feet on other entry grades, or other smaller areas. They really dropped the ball here on the placement, and I'm sure that they could have found other ways to make it look less subtle. However, the No Grade doesn't suffer from any of this. First off, we see the wing panels made up of individual clear pieces, and makes all those panel lines a little bit more noticeable with the full stickers underneath. The manipulators are leaps ahead, made of several pieces so that the whole arm is able to move around, and even with some color separation pieces in between. And most importantly, the manipulator is complete on both sides with no hollow areas at all. The amount of detail in other areas of the backpack stay consistent with the Entry Grade version. Let's go ahead and get this attached. The Entry Grade with the wings attached, they attach the same way on both kits. Here's the No Grade with its wings attached. Now let's look at the gimmicks. Here's the shield. Let's play a little game. Which one of these shields belongs to the Entry Grade and which belongs to the No Grade? You would have to look really close. All the panel lines are there for both of them, but only until they are turned around is where you'll see some differences. Here is the No Grade, and this is the Entry Grade version. The Entry Grade version is very limited with a single piece that goes here, and when you want to use the shield, the arm would go right here, and if not, then you have to take this whole piece out and turn it around like so. And here's the connector to attach it to the arm. Now the No Grade version, you don't have to remove the handle at all. You can just move it up and down, color separated, and the connector is the same to attach to the arm. The rifles are identical to one another. On the front here, you'll notice that the No Grade version has the scope color separated. In the Entry Grade, it is a single color, but besides that, they are the same. The welding gun for the No Grade has more pieces, with 2 different tips to swap with. Comes with an extra attachment for when you want to attach it to the arm. The Entry Grade version is not swappable, but you get both of them, and they went hollow on the sides. Also, something interesting is that the No Grade comes with a more wider variety of hands. A set of open hands, 1 set of closed hands, and a trigger hand for when you want to equip a weapon. The Entry Grade comes with a set of closed hands, and an extra closed hand, and an open hand. Parts are swappable between both kits. And now, let's go ahead and take a look at some noticeable and not so noticeable differences between both of these kits. So on the Entry Grade, right here on the arm, there is just a hole where the shield would attach, and it would just go in like so, easily. The No Grade has the same thing, so there's a hole here as well. However, in the No Grade, when you don't have the shield attached, it does have these little panels that you can just plug in here. Like this. However, you can swap parts between both of those kits, and the shield will go in here as well for the Entry Grade, although the fit is a little bit tight. A lot of the pieces that are in the Entry Grade are composed of more than one piece on the No Grade. One of them would be the lightsaber handle, a single piece on the Entry Grade, all one color. And then on the No Grade, it's made of 2 pieces. So we have a black piece and a white piece. Same thing you'll notice right here on the shoulders, 1 single piece, all white. And then here it's 2, black and white. However, this shoulder armor piece is composed of at least, on one side, at least 3 different pieces, compared to just 2 halves for the Entry Grade. Now, another interesting question that some people might have is that, are the armor pieces swappable between both of the kits, being that the bodies are very similar? And the answer would be yes. So let's say that for some reason you want to put the Entry Grade armor piece on the No Grade. So this is the shoulder of the No Grade, and you would be able to equip the Entry Grade armor piece as it just goes over the existing shoulder. And there you go. So now the entry grade armor piece is over the no grade shoulder piece. So now we have the entry grade shoulder piece on the no grade shoulder piece. When it comes to the leg armor itself, these pieces are basically identical, and they are put in the same way. So let's go ahead and swap out the leg armor pieces for the no grade, and we're gonna swap them out for the no grade armor leg pieces. And as you can see, they basically attached just the same way. Now, can we attach the no grade armor piece to the entry grade? And quickly we'll find out that the answer is no. Because the shoulder piece of the no grade, the joint, it's already attached here. And the entry grade, the armor joint is attached to the torso, not the shoulder. So in this case, it would not be possible. When it comes to the skirt, that would be possible. All we would have to do is cut this skirt right here and swap out both of these pieces to the other one, to the no grade. And this is one thing that I am glad that the no grade didn't follow, because the armor pieces on the entry grade are super flimsy and they always tend to fall off very easily. Even if you feel like you've attached them correctly, you go up and they fall again. So I don't like that. I like how they are on the no grade a lot better, as they are a completely different piece. However, you have to take off this front piece to always exchange them, so that can be annoying. However, one thing that we can do is, even though we can't put the no grade armor piece on the entry grade, we could put the leg armor piece from the no grade onto the entry grade. Since those ones are, like I said before, they're pretty much identical. And there it is, wrapping around the leg. Now we have to attach the front part to lock it in place. And then the side. And there you go. So the entry grade now has the no grade leg armor pieces. Let's go ahead and swap out the skirt. To do that, I'm gonna have to remove the torso, so I can also remove this front part. And I'm gonna cut this skirt in half. And so now let's go ahead and put the skirt piece on the no grade torso. And you can see that it's a lot bulkier, so it extrudes a lot more. It still fits though. Now we go ahead and attach that to the waist. And now let's go ahead and do the same for the entry grade. So we have the no grade half skirt, and here's the entry grade one. The skirt on the entry grade is always a bit more loose, very flimsy. The skirt for the no grade, it's much thicker on the joint, so it's able to hold its position, but the no grade one, not so much. And here we have the no grade with half of the armor pieces belonging to the entry grade. Right, shoulder, skirt, and leg armor pieces. The wings are also interchangeable. They have the same fitting right here. Which side do you prefer? Do you like the entry grade armor pieces more than the no grade armor pieces? I'm sure some people would, but I'm gonna guess the majority of you are gonna go for the no grade ones. Now when it comes to the back, the backpack is pretty much identical, except that for the entry grade, it's composed of a single piece where the thrusters are built in, and in the no grade, the thrusters are their own individual pieces that you can move. Another interesting difference is that on the back, for both of the skirts, they are static. The back skirts are static, but here this panel is built in, and on the no grade, you can actually remove the panel. Now this, I don't know why they would even have this additional piece. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. It could have just been built in as well. The back joints, although they are different, they're very identical. Where we do see a little bit of difference is right here on the back of the ankle, how this one does not attach to anything, and the back of the ankle is fully exposed. And on the no grade, you'll see that they are attached to the upper part of the foot right here, so they're not fully exposed. However, I think because of that, it feels like the no grade foot is a little bit more limited in range compared to the entry grade. You can see right here. Here you can see another small difference between the entry grade leg armor piece compared to the no grade armor piece. You can see a sim line right here, and in this one it's a whole piece, so there is no sim line in between. Of course, more color separation. Here is all white. Here we have black and white, and it's two individual pieces. The sides seem to be the same in terms of style and panel lines, without taking into consideration the clear pieces. When it comes to the head, it is very identical to the no grade. And here is the head for the entry grade. Now let's go ahead and look at just the wings themselves. So these are the wings for the entry grade. Again, very good detail on the back. When compared to the no grade, you can see that it's basically the same. However, I can tell that on the no grade, these parts are a little bit thicker. They're extruded a little bit more, so it makes that amount of detail a little bit better. These ones are identical to the entry grade. Same thing with this back piece. Now, as I mentioned before, the big difference here is the manipulator. And since they are the same connector, you can actually connect it to the entry grade backpack. We've been swapping out parts left and right that it's hard to tell which is which. My final thoughts on this kit. Overall, aesthetics wise, the clear winner would be the no grade, with its higher level of detail, which is to be expected, but the entry grade can hold its own as well. And actually, it is better than most entry grades, and even some high grades, so not bad at all, especially for its price. For the entry grade, you would need to purchase both kits separately to get the full set. The no grade comes as a set. Possibly in the future, I'll come back and give the entry grade a touch-up by removing the stickers and painting those areas with some metallic blue, filling those gaps and giving it a nice paint job. As for the no grade, I will leave the full of stickers. They do work well. I'm still glad I got both kits. I highly recommend either one. It was definitely fun building them and getting to compare both of them side by side. I would love to hear which one you got or are planning on getting, and why. Thank you again for joining me. Take care, and until then, I'll see you on the next one.